What have we done? Did we mean it to end that way? The Innocence video is interesting. When I'm writing lyrics, I try to leave them to where people can have different interpretations. My favorite songs were always ones where I might have interpreted them one way and somebody else interpreted them another way. I've had actually people come up to me and have a different interpretation of the song that I wrote. I know what I was thinking when I wrote it. They have a different interpretation. Sometimes I think theirs makes more sense even than mine. So in the Innocence video, which we were trying to show, which I'm not sure if we accomplished or not, was the excesses of America and the excesses of where we live in Las Vegas. It's in the middle of the desert. It's an oasis in the desert, and it still has somewhat of a Wild West mentality. Going out in the desert, drinking beers and shooting guns. I mean, we grew up playing dry lake parties where you'd bring keggers and bring out generators, and 4 bands would play in the middle of the desert. And it's how we grew up, and it's American excess, you know. Everybody still drives Hummers and $4 a gallon gas, and how we lose our innocence and how we can be drawn into situations that takes our innocence from us. And so many people come to Vegas as a town, and that's the symbolism of the desert, being in the middle of the desert as this oasis. And they're drawn into Vegas, and then they end up getting corrupted by Vegas, and they come here to fulfill their dream, and they end up with problems, and gambling problems or drug problems or alcohol problems, and that's one of the why they call it Sin Cities, and one of the pitfalls of Vegas. But for other people, it is the oasis. They come here and they can buy a home and they can fulfill their dream. So there's the dichotomy of both sides of that, and it's really easy to lose your innocence in Las Vegas. So I think that was somewhat the idea behind the video, the excesses of America and the loss of our innocence. The beginning of the Innocence video, I'm going to leave that to your interpretation. I'm hoping that people are going to get it and understand what the video is about, but I want to leave the mystery of that for you to interpret what it means. You know, after we shot up all this gear, which is the ultimate expression, it's like going beyond the Who and smashing your instrument, or Hendrix lighting his guitar on fire. It's, you know, machine gunning your equipment. It's taking it to the extreme. They sort of represent my frustrations with the music business, my love-hate with the instrument, and my love-hate with America, and my love and hate with my own situation, and they represent so many things to me. I mean, there's nothing I love more than a guitar, and as a kid I would see Pete Townsend smash a Les Paul, and I remember it really, really bothered me and upset me. You know, here I was trying really hard to own a guitar, and he's smashing this beautiful guitar. But as I've gotten older, I realized it is a love-hate relationship, because I put so much time and so much energy into this instrument and trying to create a career, and all the frustrations that have come from the music business. In some ways it was very therapeutic, and it released a lot of baggage that I had in shooting all that equipment. They're real guns. I need to unleash all the negative energy that I'd stored up against the music business, and I took it out on the equipment. So in that way it was really interesting, because it felt freeing to a certain extent. Where we live here, I mean, almost everybody carries weapons. I mean, 90% of the people I know have a gun in their car. I mean, that seems so foreign to a European or a Canadian or anybody like that, seems, but owning firearms is especially out west, is just considered, I mean, it's a big deal out here. And most people are armed or carrying guns or have guns in their cars, and it leads to too many bad options. You know, people have options to kill themselves and or get in domestic problems or whatever it may be. But I'm certainly not anti-gun, nor would I say I'm pro-gun. But once again, that's up for you to decide. It's just like the We Come Undone video. I'm making statements that I see as the truth. They're not really from any particular viewpoint. They're not far right or far left, or they're just me exploring the truth in the way that I see it as an adult man in my midlife, trying to express myself as an artist. I've taken all the pieces, and to me they're beautiful, and I'm creating an installation, art installation, with all the remains that were shot during the video. So there's 2 separate pieces being done with the guitars, and then the drum set is almost a sculpture, and it's being mounted on an acrylic box and put together in a really interesting way, and our own personal loss of innocence. And that's what the art pieces and the art installations symbolize to me. Things that happened on set, as example, and it shows you the situation when you have guns involved. We were working against the time and the sun going down, and so when we got to the part of the video where we were going to shoot up all the equipment, our drummer Eric Logier took off the important stuff, obviously, that we didn't want to destroy, and he forgot to take his bass drum pedal, which was in turn blown up and shot with a bunch of machine guns. But also, we were all standing around, and one of the guys that was there, we did have some fairly, you know, reputable people that were handling the firearms, but one person that was involved was cleaning out a shotgun, and thank God was holding it straight up, but didn't realize that there was a full load in the barrel, and shot it straight up in a group of people. I mean, once again, that shows you how easy it is in a circumstance like that. If by chance that gun had been pointed in any other direction, somebody would have been killed or at least seriously hurt. Well, you know, it's 2012, and Beggars and Thieves, I think it's still relevant because we're writing and coming from a perspective as adults. We're lucky, we're not a nostalgia act, we're not a heritage act. So some ways, not having huge success in the past is a blessing. So in a lot of ways, it frees us. And the songs that we do play from our past are songs that we like and still feel relevant to us today. So I think one thing we've learned in 2012 is that our music stood the test of time, and I think our new album's very relevant. I mean, critically, certainly we've gotten great reviews, and our plan and our focus is to continue to build through the web until we have the opportunity to come back to Europe first. That's where we really want to go, and the reason for that is because we love Europe. We feel that our music's more appreciated over there, and also we've been through America. We've toured America and with Beggars and with other acts, and been to all the places in America, so it doesn't have the lure that Europe does to us. So what we think in 2012 for Beggars and Thieves is to continue to build our brand and let people know that we're still around and better than ever, that we made a very valid, top-notch A-level record that we spent a ton of time on, by far the best album that we've ever made, and hopefully so we got great management now out of Germany, and as we build this thing, our goal through 2012 is to get over to Europe and play for the fans and get out there and play across the world. That's what we want to do, and continue to make music. Why should I stop when I'm just getting good? You know, that was my philosophy when we started this record. Writing better than ever, lyrically I have something to say, I've lived a lot more life. Why should the fact that we're now in our 40s, not in our 20s, make a difference? Some painters didn't hit their stride till they were in their 60s or 70s. Some filmmakers are very relevant later in their life. So some people peak very early and then don't do any great work. And other people, you know, keep getting better and better and better. And I think in the case of Beggars, that's how we are. We're continuing to get better. Creatively, we're continuing to write better songs. The band is stronger than it's ever been as far as the rhythm section and everything involved. And as long as there's an opportunity for us to do it, we're going to keep doing it. And we hope to see you in Europe soon. You know, me and Louie have always been the heart of Beggars and Thieves. We started the band originally. The original Beggars and Thieves was Bobby Chenard on drums from Billy Squire, Alice Cooper. He passed away, unfortunately. Wonderful, wonderful drummer. And Huey McDonald from Bon Jovi. That was the original Beggars and Thieves that cut the 3-song demo with Desmond Child that got us the deal in the first place.